Boyd's not here, Paul's not here.
Yeah, Paul's not supposed to, I mean, he's on vacation, so he's not
Is
coming.
Boyd on Zoom?
Not yet, doesn't appear so, no.
But we do have a quorum. Yeah. So we're gonna open the meeting. So welcome to the Board of Directors special meeting for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Could I have a roll call, please?
Director Marsh,
Here.
Director Dye.
Here.
Director Slater Carter.
Present.
I don't see Director Boyd, then Chair Raddock.
Here.
Okay, we have a forum.
Quorum. So, this meeting is being held in person via Zoom, and Director Boyd is expected to join the meeting. And he'll be attending from 5300 Kahuku Road, Hawaii. So he'll be joining us soon momentarily.
He just
He is.
joined. Yep.
So Scott joined at approximately 1:01 p.m. And if anyone participating via Zoom would like to comment on this item, I'd like you to raise your hands now, because that's going to tell us how many people will be speaking. Because we have a hard stop for this meeting at 2:30 p.m. and we need time for the board to deliberate. So if you'd like to speak on this item, please raise your hand now. This is for item 1, public comment.
And Miss Cassandra, we already have her identified. I don't see any other online speakers unless I'm missing something.
Okay, that's great. So we will open with speakers who are in the room, and we'll start with Sabrina Brown.
Do you want me to sit here or stand?
I think you should stand,
Okay,
you know, like right about here, or over in the corner.
this is good. Okay. Okay, I'll try to be quick. In summary, another sewage leak started, I believe it started on Friday night of last week and has still not been repaired as of today, which is Wednesday the following week. So that's 6 days of sewage spill with no repairs. A number of plumbers have been out to fix the problem. None of them are able to do so. The State Water Board has come out and visited and observed an active sewage spill. They were there when the sewage was gurgling up from the manhole that says sewer on it. So that's sort of the current state of affairs. I've also sent an email to enforcement with the California Coastal Commission. I filed a complaint with Cal EPA. That form number is 25-4951, and I will be making another one today. And I encourage other people to do so. I'd be happy to read my letter to the Coastal Commission. I don't know if you want me to go through all of that, but I did bring copies of it for the board and for your general manager. Are you the general manager? Yes. Okay, here's a copy for you.
Thank you very much.
And a copy for you. Thank you. So in reaching out, this is to Joe at the Coastal Commission, with urgent concerns. I've asked for immediate attention. Our neighborhood in Seal Cove is experiencing ongoing sewage leaks, and the situation has escalated to a serious public health and environmental risk to the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve, and that's also the Monterey Bay Monterey Bay Marine Sanctuary and the Gulf of the Farallones Marine Sanctuary. So all of those different water oversight agencies are involved as far as I'm concerned. And currently we have raw sewage that's been spilling onto La Grande Avenue near the ocean for the past now 6 days. The roadway is primarily used by pedestrians to access the California Coastal Trail, meaning the public is forced to walk directly through sewage to reach the coast. This is not only a violation of public health standards, but also a direct infringement on guaranteed coastal access. Despite repeated requests for help, the Montero Water Sanitary District has directed the Sewer Authority Midcoast not to perform emergency sewer repairs in Seal Cove. This refusal has left residents and visitors without recourse even though Sam has repaired this exact same location in the past. I spoke this morning with, or this is when I sent the letter, so this is a couple days ago.
3 minutes are up, so.
Okay. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. I did reach out and talk to your general manager. He did confirm that the contract between Montera Water and Sanitary District and SAM does not exclude the neighborhood of Seal Cove or anybody in Seal Cove. It is not anywhere in the contract, which I believe is identical to the contract that GCSD has and the contract that the city of Half Moon Bay has, for SAM to provide sewer repairs to residents. So we are not excluded in that contract. There is some sort of serious discrimination happening here, and we're not happy about it. Thank you.
The next speaker is it Samin Ravella?
Sarah. Yeah.
Sarah Ravella?
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
It's a handout.
I'm just,
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Ravella, and I'm the owner of the property that has the sewage leak at 116 La Grande. I'm also a local realtor, so I do have a lot of knowledge about sewer laterals. But even with my background and all the professional connections that I've reached out to, plumbers, grinder pump services, and underground specialists, no one has been able to give me a clear solution. Each one had a different opinion, and they all asked me technical questions that I don't know how to answer, and I was left trying to track conflicting advice without any real direction. For the last 5 days, raw sewage has been leaking out of the ground in front yard of my property. I have a tenant living there. I have neighbors. This is a serious health hazard, and it is an environmental hazard, and it creates liability for me as a property owner. To make matters worse, while I was actively trying to get help through Public Works, Montera Water, and SAM, I was actually threatened by the health department with a fine because of the leak. So on one hand, I am being held accountable as a property owner, but on the other one, there is no guidance or support from the agencies responsible for this system. It's unacceptable. And this is not an isolated issue. Back in March, when I put my home on the market, there was a major sewage leak in Seal Cove that made news, and an article ran about it. That situation directly impacted my ability to sell my home. It's clear that this is a recurring systematic problem in the community, not just a one-time accident. I also want to note that the agencies and individuals I spoke with here, to their credit, have shown genuine empathy for what I'm going through. Many of them seem confused themselves about what to tell me, and some even appeared frustrated or upset that they didn't have a clear answer for me. Yet at the same time, it almost feels as though there's information being withheld, as if there's secret keeping or something nefarious happening behind the scenes, because no one can give me a straight answer or a consistent answer to the most basic questions. The core problem is that the residents have been abandoned without direction. If Montera Water is no longer maintaining this infrastructure, is instead putting the responsibility entirely on homeowners, then we need a clear framework for what to do. Right now, there is no guidelines, there are no resources, and there is no accountability. We are left on our own, scrambling to find experts, none of whom can give us answers. This is beyond what residents should ever be expected to handle. We need immediate action to stop the current leak, but more importantly, we need leadership, communication, and direction from Montera Water. If you are shifting responsibility to homeowners, then you must provide us with a path to handle the crisis and not just leave us guessing while raw sewage runs through our neighborhoods.
Young Susie Kim.
I have a handout. May I hand it out?
Sure.
Thank you very much. So the map is from the Montera Water District's meeting agenda, meeting packet. And you can see the 7 streets that Montera Water District considers private. And it's in the black dotted line. And you can see that this includes sewer main pipe that runs in the middle of the road, which Montera Water District has conveniently reclassified as private shared lateral. Everyday citizens are not equipped to deal with public infrastructure. And for us, we were the very first house that happened. And it took us 32 days getting ping pong back and forth to government agencies and fixing it. And this is just the beginning of the consequence of Montero Water District's policy of abandoning and privatizing what public infrastructure that they have maintained over decades. And this emergency meeting is just the beginning. There are 7 streets, actually 8th Street if you include the Ocean Boulevard. And there will be a damning consequence to the environment and the ocean. Ocean does not care what zip code you live in. The pollution is pollution. It affects the entire coastside. I encourage the SAM board members to really tell your colleagues in Montero Water District to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Speaker is Ellen Moss.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to incorporate what everyone else has said heretofore. And I want to raise another point which became, which I didn't realize before last night. And that is, I think we have a serious conflict of interest here on the board. 2 members of this board are members of Montero Water and Sanitary District. I don't see how it is possible to maintain both positions in the situation we are in. This meeting was called on an emergency basis. I know that's a special category. Your attorney told me that. This is just a special meeting, but it was done on 24-hour notice. It wasn't regularly scheduled. And the purpose of this meeting is to discuss possible litigation about CO code. So you are both, as board directors of SAM, 2 of you are also board directors of Montero Water. If there is a lawsuit, and things are looking like there's a high probability of that, you will be, these 2 directors will be both defending or pointing the finger at the other entity on which they sit. That is untenable and illegal under the Brown Act. It's a direct conflict of interest. Brown Act explanation was given to me yesterday by your attorney, and it's clear that this is a direct conflict of interest. You cannot sit on this board and Montero Water Board at the same time. Your interests are divergent. I don't know yet what the legal what the legalities are between SAM and Montero Water, because I haven't gotten a response to my request for records that's been pending for over 5 weeks. But at some point, we're going to find out what that legal formation is between the 2 of you. So I think it's appropriate that you now today at this meeting say that you will resign from either SAM or you will resign from Montero Water. You can't sit on both. You are now going
They
to.
could recuse themselves.
Yes.
That's what they should do, is recuse themselves.
Can I respond?
I mean, what they should do, but they should seek legal counsel, who I think is here. And
Thank you, Mr. Moss. Your time's up.
excuse me, I have one more thing to say. And that is that I can request any documentation after your closed session be produced to us. And I am doing that.
Thank you, Mr. Moss.
Madam Chair, can I just briefly respond to a couple of the points that were made very briefly?
Please do.
Yeah, thank you. One, This is a joint powers authority, operating under the Joint Exercise of Powers Act. And the board members from Montera, as part of the governing board, are authorized to be here. There is no basis for excluding them at this time that I'm aware of. And so there's no reason for them to leave. Second, we did receive your Public Records Act request, Mr. Moss, and we have responded to it. And we are producing documents in phases. You will receive them. As to documents that are open session documents, that are documents that are received at the meeting by others participating in the meeting, you can receive those, you can request those, and those will be provided to you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I have a letter from the Wits.
I can read the letter. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Your comments can be a total of 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm Lana Witt. This is my husband, Larry. We're both residents and homeowners in the Seal Cove area. Neighbors to Sarah and Nayan. We have an active raw sewage leak on La Grande, which has been ongoing since Friday afternoon. Serious public health issue. Pedestrians with their children, dogs, bicycles are unaware they're stepping on contaminated water, spreading and bringing home infectious bacteria and viruses. We understand that SAM has been instructed by MWSD to ignore and refuse assistance to Seal Cove owners. Unfortunately, as Sarah and Young has pointed out, private plumbing companies do not have the technical knowledge, staff, nor equipment to assess the leaks and make repairs. At least 3 plumbing companies have been on site but have been unable or unwilling to meet the fixes. For such emergencies, we request that SAM and MWSD provide repairs or guidance as to which private companies could help. In my and Larry's healthcare profession, clinicians would always provide medical assistance in emergencies or guide the patient with referrals to specialists. We would never leave the patient hanging to go find help on your own. Your assistance to fix the leak or guidance as to whom we should contact is absolutely critical. In addition, we question whether MWSD and SAM can legally refuse service to a subset of properties. What was the process that was followed to enable such a refusal of needed assistance? Thank you.
Thank you. Next speakers will be online, and the first one will be Cassandra from Supervisor Mueller's office. Cassandra, please unmute yourself and you may speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cassandra. I work for Supervisor Mueller, and I just wanted to state my appearance here on behalf of the supervisor today to listen to public comment. So that's all.
Thank you. The next speaker will be Andrew Boston.
Good afternoon, directors. I'm Andrew Boston. Yes, it's me again. I still live in Seal Cove. In the past few months, our neighborhood has multiple sewage spills. I think the most alarming part isn't the spills themselves. It's the response. MWSD informed SAM it would not be reimbursed if it intervened when it happened at our house, even though SAM is the only agency trained to repair the system. That puts SAM staff in the impossible position of standing by while raw sewage flows, untreated, into the environment. It's the equivalent of telling a fire department to watch a house burn down because the paperwork on the hydrant isn't sorted out. That's not a technical failure. That's a governance failure. And because SAM was forced to watch the exact same situation unfold 5 months ago, with nothing changed, it's now an embarrassment to us all. The current governance structure in Seal Cove encourages underreporting and guarantees long preventable spills. As Nyang mentioned, when this happened to us in March, we did what MWSD told us, which was call a plumber. We called 15, 4 came out, none would touch it, and all said it was too complex, too risky for them to touch. Only SAM is trained to operate these systems on this side of the bay. The result was a 30-day long spill, and now it's happening again. The current homeowner has already had 3 plumbers out. I've talked to them all. They all said the same thing. Here's the kicker. 3 months ago, at this very same address, there was a water leak MWSD repaired that went unreported, or worse, misreported by MWSD to another house on a different street. With no rain since, the cause and effect is not hard to miss. If one leak can be misdocumented, how many others have been? This isn't just a failure in operations, it's a failure in record keeping and accountability. Worse still, MWSD doesn't appear to have even properly abandoned this infrastructure. Let me highlight three possibilities. Each outcome is reckless. First, ancient history. 1985 Half Moon Bay article referenced a resolution reporting a publicly financed, publicly constructed, and publicly managed system. Later, an article followed by explaining maintenance commitments. We've asked MWSD for the final resolutions and records. Nothing has been produced. No CEQA filings, no title or deed restrictions. Second, in recent history, MWSD cited cost as the reason to walk away from 40 years of maintenance this year. There have been no CEQA filings, no public notices, no proper public notices, and no title restrictions. The county recorder confirmed this, while MWSD could not. Walking away from decades of obligation on a cost basis is not ministerial, it's discretionary. And even against all logic, the process had been done properly, and this was really private infrastructure. What are we left with? Homeowners responsible for a system with that no plumber will touch, weeks-long sewage spills in an area of special biological significance. Look, we've all seen the disputes between Half Moon Bay, El Granada, and Montara play out in this board. Seal Cove is the predictable outcome of that dysfunction. So when MWSD refuses to act, it doesn't just hurt Moss Beach family, it drags down the entire JPA and wastes money from every ratepayer. So thank you. And if anyone needs me, I'll be back on the coastal suit. I hope to not be wearing my hazmat suit.
Dr. Boston? The last speaker is Sid Young.
Thank you. I am on the MWSD board, but I am recused from speaking at their meetings about Seal Cove. But as a resident of Seal Cove since 1988, I just want to clarify one thing that Sabrina Brennan said, and that is that Sam has abandoned all of Seal Cove, and that is not my understanding. I believe they are only been told, and I can't confirm this since I'm never in the meetings, but apparently they're only told not to service the 31 homes that are on grinder pumps. Those grinder pumps were installed in the mid 80s. And when I bought my house in 88, they charged me for it too, because it was a Seal Cove wide bond called a sewer improvement bond or something. So we paid that bond off, and Sam has been doing an excellent job over the years coming out and servicing our entire neighborhood. But now my understanding is, and I could be wrong, that they're only told not to service the houses that are on grinder pumps. So when Sabrina Brennan said that they're not servicing any of Seal Cove, I believe that's incorrect. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. I think that's it for speakers.
I think this is a very helpful exhibit. What is ILPS stand for on this chart?
ILPS?
Yes, the little boxes. Are those the grinder pumps for individual homes?
I believe so. Kishan, can you help us?
The pump
I'm
station.
not a
No.
Station.
but you can see that the private line, the black dotted line.
Right. No, I know that. I get interested in it's helpful to.
Yeah.
To see the neighborhood.
It is the Montero document from Montero.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for discussion of it. I just want to know what ILPS is for. I mean.
It's not our.
Catherine Slater Carter knows.
Does staff know? ILPS.
I'm not familiar with that acronym or this map, so.
Let me know, it's the pump station, like, the pump station.
Okay. Anybody else have a clarifying question? If not, we are going to.
I think I have a question on that. How long do you anticipate the closed session being?
Maybe I'll go ahead and clarify one thing, and others can jump in if I'm not getting this right. But my understanding is we envision having the closed session complete by 2:30. I believe it could end sooner, but if you're wanting to be here after the closed session, I recommend you either stick around, or if you're online, to be in touch with someone who is staying here.
I understand the rules. It is that at the end of the closed session, someone, either on the board or you, their attorney, has to make some kind of announcement about what was said and produce any documents that were considered. Is that not correct?
No, that's not quite right. What has to happen after a closed session is if there are statutorily identified reportable items, then those would have to be reported out. But there's no requirement to disclose documents. There's no requirement to generally say what happened in the closed session. That would kind of defeat the purpose of having a closed session. So it's a very limited disclosure obligation.
Do you anticipate any such documents being produced in closed session?
Yeah, the documents from closed session are confidential to the agency, and they will not be produced after the closed session.
I understand that. What you just told us is that there may be some documents that are producible. If you're saying now that no documents will be produced, that's fine.
Well, let me clarify. The documents that you can ask for are if people made written comments, like from the public during this meeting, those would be documents you could have.
And that's it.
Jeremy, reportable actions is generally a verbal report, correct?
That's
Not a-
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
So you anticipate a verbal report at the end of your session, is that correct?
It will be a verbal report as to whether there are any reportable items or not. At this point, I don't know whether there are going to be any reportable items. I suspect there will not be, but I can't say for certain until we've conducted the closed session.
Froze up for a second there. Do you want to describe more of what a reportable, statutorily required reportable actions, which are limited? Is that correct?
Sure, I can do that. So for example, if the board voted to initiate litigation or to defend litigation, or if there's certain, not for litigation, but there's other kinds, for example, if there were labor negotiations and there was a final labor agreement that was concluded, those are the kind of things that would be statutory listed reportable items from closed session.
Okay. We will convene in closed session at this time. So only board members and required staff may stay, and everyone else will have to leave the room.
Yeah. And the purpose of the closed session is as identified in item 3 on the special meeting agenda.
Right. And I can read that. Conference with legal counsel.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what that is. Yeah, that's what that is. But we don't know the full form of that item. Yes.
Significant exposure to litigation.
Yeah, those are grinder pumps.
They're grinders. I'm just not sure what the acronym is.
Okay. Director Ruddick, are we recessing to closed session?
I announced that, yes.
Okay.
Momentarily, just